Hey, what's up, Logos American History students? Welcome to May 27th, 2020, day 43 of our e-learning COVID-19 stay-at-home extravaganza. May 27th, man, it's almost the end of May. I can't believe we've almost gotten through a whole nother month. Remember when we started this way back in March, and we didn't think we'd last a month, let alone we're now through, like, what, 2.5 months almost? And we're almost through a whole term of this, right? We're getting close to the end of term 5, so we want to keep up the good work, finish out this term strong. Got, what, a week and a half left, and that's it. Getting towards the end of the school year, and it's that time of year where we start thinking about all the end of school year type things, and it kind of makes me sad that we're missing out on some of the things, missing out on prom, missing out on the graduation ceremonies and things like that, missing out on field day. Good news about that is we have an announcement that I wanted to share with you from Coach Sykes. I'll get to that in a minute. Coach Sykes, Nate Sykes, he's got a YouTube channel, and I don't like to promote it too much because he kind of shows me up. He has more subscribers than me. He's got higher production value. Hey, when you're not married and don't have a bunch of kids running around the house, you have time to do things like that. But no, hey, I'm excited that I am, I feel like I'm a trendsetter, right? And I still have everyone beat, all of my colleagues beat on number of videos. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see I do this every day. Last week, I went over 100 videos that I've posted, right? Total for all my classes. So there, beat that. But no, I wanted to share this with you because it's pretty cool. We got some cool new stuff on YouTube from other staff members besides myself. So take a look at this. I got this from Ryan in Task the other day. It's Ryan from Task, right? He's got his own Task YouTube page. So if you haven't seen Ryan in a while, if you're missing Task, right? I don't know why you'd be missing Task, but no, Task is cool, right? It's considered something that people get as like a punishment, but it's not necessarily punishment. And Ryan's a really cool guy, so I can think of much worse things than having to spend time with Ryan Gist. So if you're missing Ryan, right, check out his YouTube video. He's gonna share some knowledge with you. But then I really wanted to show you Nate Sykes' YouTube. So we'll close you out, Ryan. Take a look at this. Ooh. Big announcement from Coach Sykes. See, look at this, man. Showing me up. I'm going to make a video like this one of these days. Come on, Coach Sykes. Let's get to the announcement. Well, you can see maybe in the title. I don't know if you can see that. Uh-oh.
Hi everybody, Sykes here. In today's video, Field Day.
Field Day. We're having a virtual field day. Nate is hosting a virtual field day.
Alright guys, it's Field Day, and it's time to compete. For this Field Day, we have 5 events.
5 events. Here's the flyer for it, right? So you have the first ever Logos Virtual Field Day. 5 events. Each event will have a first and second place winner. The submission is June 4th. So he's going to show you in this video and also in this description the 5 events. They're all 5 things that you can do at home. And all you got to do is record yourself doing them. And the winners will be chosen from the videos submitted. So record yourself doing these challenges. Submit them to Nate, and the information here is all here on how to submit them to Nate by June 4th. So that's next week, next Thursday. You can be a winner at Logos Virtual Field Day. So Nate asked me to share that with you, and I was happy to do so. And you can watch his video, and he demonstrates all of these events. Yeah, you're funny. He's hilarious. Okay, back to work. Real quick, just wanted to let you know again that the Zoom meeting takes place tomorrow. This is our second to last Zoom meeting of the term, so it's an important one. They're all important, but this is a way to earn some participation points, but also see your classmates, and we'll be discussing, what we've been discussing so far, and that's the 1960s. We're wrapping up chapter 23 today, actually. Yesterday we talked about section 3 of chapter 23, which was all about the hippies and the counterculture movement, and it got me looking at my record collection. Remember I told you guys I got a big old record collection behind me over here, but it had me pulling out this one, right? This one, Hair, right? This is a hippie musical, counterculture musical that was made in 1968, and it touches on everything from the counterculture that was discussed in the section yesterday and that we talked about yesterday. It's got great music. You've probably heard a couple of the songs from the soundtrack before. Let the sun shine in, let the sun shine in. Yeah, that's from this. That's from Hair. But it also has, there's a lot of drug use. There's an orgy at one point. They call it a be-in. It was very controversial at the time because everybody on stage is naked. But then, again, there's all kinds of rebellious, talking about things that they see wrong with society, whether it's racism or violence or environmental degradation. Companies producing dangerous chemicals and products in the name of profit. And this gets us to today's topic, which is the last section of chapter 23, the consumer and environmental movements. In many ways, the hippies, the counterculture, they weren't just about, having a good time, wearing colorful clothing, sex and drugs and rock and roll. They actually, they saw some problems with society, like the Vietnam War, which was going on throughout the 60s that we haven't talked about yet, but we will start talking about this week and finish up the term talking about. But then also, the 60s is really when people start getting concerned about the damage that we are doing to ourselves and to our environment with all these manufacturing processes and manufactured goods. And so that's what this is about, the consumer and environmental movement. So if we go into topics on our Blackbaud page, we see Chapter 23, Section 4, if we click on the download, it is the environmental and consumer movements, right? These are things that, still affect us today, especially the environmental movement, right? This starts in the 60s, and it's still going on to this day. And that gets us to the question of the day. Of course, we have, five questions having to do with this, and they're pretty easy. Earth Day, EPA, things you've heard of, right? Maybe not Rachel Carson and DDT, but you should definitely look into her because she's at the very beginning of this section. Very interesting woman. Really starts the environmental movement with her book on DDT, a very harmful chemical. But the question of the day, this is pretty pertinent for our times, for all times, but even today. Let's go to, if we go to assignments, and go to our question of the day. What does it say? How much do you think the government should do to regulate businesses in order to protect consumers and the environment? Do you think the government should do more than it does now? Is it possible for the government to do too much? Why or why not? This is a debate we're having in this country, right? And it's really, there's two sides to this, right? There's the side that says, the government regulates too much. And what do they mean the government regulates too much? If the government regulates too much, that means that businesses can't make money. Businesses have to be able to make money. And, if the government's constantly looking over their shoulder and telling them you can't do that, you can't make that, you can't produce that, they can't make any money, right? And then what do? On the other hand, if we just let businesses do whatever they want, dump whatever toxins they want into our water and into our air, produce whatever dangerous products we want, or they want in the name of making a profit, that could be harmful too. Even today, when we look at, how the government is regulating businesses in response to COVID-19, how much should the government do, right? Is the government doing enough? Should the government shut businesses down? Should the government go in with the police and make sure that people are social distancing? We saw what happened at Lake of the Ozarks this weekend. So I'm interested what you guys think. So make sure you answer that question of the day. Remember, there's no right or wrong answers. Just want to know your opinion. And then make sure you take a look at and answer those questions on the reading, chapter 23, section 4. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, I hope to see you all tomorrow, 11 a.m. in the Zoom meeting. Peace.